Going live. I apologize for the wait. I want to say to you guys, I'm back. And here we go with part two of the story time with me. So, to finish up on the story that I was telling about growing up and also about the swings. Okay, so I left you guys with myself, Brian, Willie, and Kevin. And the pressure was on with us trying to finish up, or should I say, follow through with what Keith had did on jumping over the fence. So the pressure was on Brian. So I left y'all with, did Brian do it? Well, I'm here to tell y'all, yes, he did. So it was after school, and the pressure was on Brian since his brother was the one that did jump the fence, and it was like, okay, hey, is he gonna do it? Well, yes, he did. So Brian got in the swing, stood up in the swing. Now, normally we would go forward because we had to jump over the lines. But since Keith had set the bar so high and he had jumped over the fence, and we looking at it like this, hey man, your brother did it, so what you gonna do? Well, Brian did it. Had to say, he did it like a soldier. Jumped in that swing at Douglas Elementary, and he swung not one, not two, not three, not four. Boom. Went over that fence. Landed in that grass with no problem. Didn't even roll over, just landed 2 feet down. Bam. Made that jump. So of course, me, Kevin, and Willie looking at each other like, are you gonna do it? So Willie and Kevin are actually cousins. So he looked at Kevin like, okay. Kevin's like, man, I ain't doing that shit. Willie look over at me. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't doing that shit. You and Brian is neighbors. Basically, me and Kevin is neighbors, because me and Kevin stayed on the same block, Madison Street. And Willie and Brian stayed right down the street from each other, like one house. Okay, Willie, so you do it. Willie was like, fuck no, I ain't doing that shit. So Brian made that leap of faith, jumped over that mug, so he did what his big brother did and made it happen. And I'm telling you, that was not a hard decision to make. It was pretty much an easy decision. But the thoughts ran through our mind was like, man, you missed this motherfucker. You was done. You hurt. You messed up. Okay? But Brian made it. So he had bragging rights. And like I'm telling you, me and these guys were friends from first grade, second grade, third grade, and fourth grade, and fifth. So that was just one of our adventures that we all did together. My boy made it with no problem. And needless to say, me, Kevin, and Willie never did that jump, ever. So shout out to my boy Brian. Okay, now since I finished that up and let y'all know, yes, he did make that jump to my next story. And it's moving on. I'm going to jump the gun. So, growing up in Gary, Indiana, and living on 26 in Madison, my family decided to make a move to Glen Park. And it's funny about this story because I have to bring up my cousin Stony, first name Herman, and then there was Penny, Marcella, my cousin, my sister Ned, called her Net, her, but Fanetta, and me. So, of course, we moved out to Glen Park, and we're going to me, Penny, and Stony going to Bailey Junior High School, 6th grade. Okay. Now my sister, who was the youngest, Net, at the time of us, she's goes to Franklin Elementary School. First day of school. Let me tell you about my cousin Stony. God rest his soul. It's my first cousin. My mother's sister, son. My mother's only sister, God rest her soul, my Auntie Jeannie. So, Stony, I had to say, as long as I can remember this brother, and everything I can remember to this brother, he was truly a womanizer. He was a womanizer in elementary and junior high. Then we get to Bailey Junior High School. Still was a womanizer. So, while I'm at Bailey, I link up with a guy who ended up being my brother from another mother. And his name, and when you see this, he's gonna know this, was Harold. Same last name as me. This was my ace boon coon, my brother from another mother. My brother, if he don't get no bigger, he gonna always be my nigga. Just saying. So, never forget this day. We had probably been at Bailey for about 3 weeks now. 3 weeks of school. And in Bailey on lunch hour, whether it was first or second lunch hour, you always, after you left the lunchroom, you turned around and you went to the gym and you played basketball. So, or you watch people play basketball. So my thing was, I didn't just jump right in the way of playing basketball. We'll watch people on the court and everything and chill. Look at the females, because I like the girls. So I'm watching the young ladies, you know, me and my boy Harold, who I met in class. We got the same class, so me, you know, we 6th grade, we chilling, we cool. Hey, school, women, just cool brothers. We connected right away. And we became thicker than thieves, you know, from junior high to high school. We played football together. Me, I played basketball and football. Harold was more of a football player, but we both played sports together. So, with that being said, guess what? We're sitting in the gym. After we done had our lunch, we're sitting up there chopping it up like brothers do. All of a sudden, there's this big commotion over by the gym door. So me and Harold sitting there like, man, what the hell is going on? We look over, we see a whole crowd over by the gym door. Lo and behold, take a peek, and let's walk over and see what's going on. Walk over. Now remember I said my cousin Stony was always a womanizer. Always trying to holler at the girls. Now, there's one thing about Stoney. He, growing up, as we was growing up, this was a brother that ironed his clothes. Used to piss me off because what he used to do, he would get his clothes ready that night, whereas to me, I thought it was the norm to get up in the morning and get your clothes ready and everything. He get up and iron his clothes, laid them out. This boy pressed his socks. If y'all don't know what pressing means, ironing, pressed his socks, his underwear, his t-shirt, his shirt, his pants. Boy had a crease in his pants, boy, that was just sharp as a knife. Always. Shined his cleaned his gym shoes, whether they was white. Well, back then you always wore white gym shoes, so his gym shoes was always clean. Cleaned his gym shoes with a toothbrush. Stoney was always neat and clean. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I was not neat and clean, but he went the extra mile to make sure his shit was clean and pressed and looking good. He used to piss us three off. Okay. Now, we turn around. Me and Harold sitting up there. We see the commotion going on. We walk over there. I look over as we turn the edge of the corner of the bleachers. I see this brother got my cousin by the throat, getting ready to introduce him to Pain. Had his fist balled up, about to give him the business. Was about to unhinge all of this, whether it was nose, jaw, teeth, eye, whatever. He was about to lay into him. So I look, this dude, I'm not gonna say his name. Y'all know I can't say nobody's last name, but I can say your first. Brother named Keith. Now Keith had some nice little guns on him. You know, Keith did not look like he should be in school with us. Hell, he had a man mustache, and we kids. Okay? Keith about to lay into this brother's, my cousin, I'll say this brother, about to give him the business. So, of course, I remember something my grandmother used to always say because, you know, had to say this to all the people who are sickly, diabetics, because my cousin was diabetic. And she used to always say, don't let nothing happen to your cousin. He's a diabetic. He can't get cut. He can't get no bruises and this and that. And the one thing about my cousin, he used to piss people off to their highest festivity. Boy, I always had a mouth. I speak from experience, because growing up, we used to rumble tumble as kids, and I would want to lay hands on them. And true, I kind of led, like The Rock said, the smacketh down on him, and I get my little ass tore up, but the satisfaction of giving him the business, I would take that ass whooping from Granny. Love you, Granny. I would take that ass whooping because just so I could lay hands on him, because he got on my last nerves at times. So I remember my grandmother was telling me, do not let nothing happen to this boy. So, okay, yeah, family, we gonna fight, we gonna argue, fight, whatever, but I'm not gonna let you, a brother off the street, put your hands on my cousin. One, that's my cousin. Two, if I let something happen to him and I'm there, because you know, growing up, you was always told we was always told, we fight together. Family, we fight. You know, I don't care how many it is. You jump in. It could be one. You jump in. You don't, whatever. That was street code. That was also home code. I wasn't gonna let this brother beat up on him. So I intervened quickly. Hey, bro. What's going on? Man, I remember I told you my cousin was a womanizer. So he decides to flirt with or hit on this guy's woman. Now, she was loving the attention. For whatever reason, Keith was not giving her the attention or was not saying the things that she wanted to hear. But my cousin Stoney, all silver-tongued devil he was, no pun intended, but the boy had a way with words, and he could woo a young lady out of whatever. So he had got her attention by whatever he had said to her. She was feeling him. And of course, this was this brother's woman. So with that being said, now we got a problem. He about to give my cousin a knuckle sandwich, a pumpkin head, lump on his head, lump on his jaw, dot his eye, bust a lip, loosen the teeth, all that. So I quickly like, hey man, you can't do that. He wasn't hearing that. Fuck what you talking about, bruh, excuse my French. Fuck what you talking about. I'm finna whoop this dude and get this dude a reason. He went to hit him and I blocked it. No. Well, it was instinctive to not just block it, but to throw some heat of my own. Because when I went to block it, dude looked and he called himself gonna give me some. And my reaction was, So he swung in a miss and I connected. Pow! I hit it. Oh my God. It's on. Needless to say, I did not know. Not only was he a grade higher, though he had flunked, but he was the school bully. Look, I wasn't afraid. I was more afraid of my grandmother if I let my cousin get any type of damage behind this dude. I was more worried about what Granny was gonna do to me than what this dude was gonna do to me. So when dude was not able to connect and I did, it was on. You know how they show on TV, I'll see you at 3:00. Well, it's funny how everything all rolled off. Because when I hit him, it was like I was saved by the bell, the lunchroom bell, the maitre d's and everything. Before he could really, I stunned him with a good pop. Next thing I know, dude was like, all attention left off my cousin and went to me. Of course, dude was like, I'm going to get you. Now, with that being said, I didn't know my boy Harold knew about this dude. Everybody else knew about this dude. I'm the new kid on the block. Me and my cousin, and I didn't know this dude had a rep. Man, you talking about after lunch, you gonna get it. Y'all gonna get it. He gonna get you. That's all I kept hearing. And it was like trickled through the whole school. Oh, fight after school. Keith gonna get Ed. Oh man, Keith gonna get him. I couldn't even do my work. I'm here to tell y'all, I was nervous the whole remaining hours till school let out that this dude gonna get me. Of course, I'm like Day on Friday. Man, you always get me in trouble. That's what I'm going with my cousin. Man, I'm gonna have to fight this dude because of you. Okay? Well, there is, and I have to leave y'all with this, there's a part two to this that will lead up to the fight. The part of getting home, the 3 o'clock, after 3 o'clock, what's going to happen after 3 o'clock, me sweating all through class, me worried. I will finish this. Till next time, going live. Story time with me. And I'll promise I won't take too long to fill in the gaps of what it was like and what happened. You guys have a blessed and wonderful evening. And I will continue with the fight.